Welcome back, dreamers, to the Season 1 finale of The Lucky Die. Previously, Laffian negotiates with death, Rhal considers his afterlife, Squash hits the books, as Zaltanna talks to her wife. Now that Rhal has his afterlife planned out and Caden is back amongst the realm of the living, half of the team reunite with their significant others. The other half of the team, however, take a trip into their subconscious to talk with memories of the important people in their lives. What do Squash and Zaltanna dream of? What does Laffian face when Marnak is removed? And what will happen to the team once their task is complete? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Season 1 finale of The Lucky Die.
When you both open your eyes, in the dream world you see before you a very big, vast valley. It's beautiful. There is a waterfall on one side and the water falls down and cuts through the grassland. There are some houses on stilts, but not so many that would ruin the aesthetic and the beauty of this place, but just enough to let you know that people live here happily. You can see that everything around you is protected by trees, so unless you literally fell in here, it'd be very difficult to find. This is where you find yourselves. I will let you go from here.
Thank you. You quickly realize that you have your kind of back up against Squash, and you can feel him kind of standing up, and you turn around like just real quick to see Squash, and you can see him, he's just kind of waving away a shadow, an outline of a woman. And he's like, yeah, hey.
Hey.
This is Empty Shallows.
Oh, this is where you're from.
Yeah, it's where I grew up. And this is not what it looks like today. They've ruined it. He's ruined it. When Squash says this, the sun kind of goes a little bit darker, and Squash quickly catches himself like, yeah, but that's not why we're here. So tell me. And Squash I'm assuming you've stood up at this point, and he's just starting to walk towards the village. So tell me, can you remember a specific place you think of when you think of spending time with a dead?
Yeah, the temple. Of the triad.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And you guys are walking towards like a little house, and he's just like, okay, so just keep that in your mind and open the door.
Okay. She's gonna think about the temple, the triad, and triad words, and she's gonna open the door.
And what was just a little hut, like beyond it, very Doctor Who style, there is a lot bigger room. There is a temple, the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, so that very first moment when you saw Odette standing in the sunlight, Benno standing by your side, like you kind of step through this door and you see the temple building behind her, and you see her standing there with just, I guess for like movie magic's sake, you see like everything slightly softer and brighter around her, which is pretty much exactly as you saw her. And Squash, yeah, you see this very beautiful elven woman standing in front of you, and y'all are both on top of a very high mountain.
That's Odette?
Yeah.
Adet walks over and she says, "Hi,
Hi.
who are you two?" And she looks from face to face.
Oh, you know us. You're Adet, right?
Of course I am, silly. She looks down at Zaltanna. And I would know your face anywhere.
Hi.
She kind of like does that thing where she half like leans down and like gives you a really big hug and a kiss on the side of your cheek.
Just like absolutely speechless. She's just so happy to see Odette.
So, this is the Temple of the Triad. We should take a walk. If you want to, we could take a walk. I mean,
Yeah.
Squash like puts his hand on your shoulder real quick, and like, sorry, she's not that much taller than Squash.
I mean, yeah.
Actually, she is.
she is, yeah.
She like he puts his hand like on your hand, I guess more like it, and just real quick goes like, "Remember, this is your version of her. You have to believe her.
Okay.
You have to believe in her."
I do.
And gives you just a little like slap on the lower back and just like, "Okay, go on." And you see Squash turn around, and instantly as Squash turns around, there's like a version of Demi there. But she's a little bit shorter, and like all her features are a little bit softer. She's a little less scarred. And her hair is a little bit less messy, and she's wearing shoes, and it's just like all these like weird little random things are just slightly off. And he like grabs into his bag for a book and seems to start talking to her.
Zaltanna smiles at the fact that she's like imaged a little bit softer. Kind of like a knowing smirk.
Leans over to you and she says, "Is she wearing shoes?"
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I guess Squash
he doesn't have a foot fetish.
Oh, Dad.
Wow.
All right, I think it's a super good place to stop this lucid dream.
Thank you,
We
yes.
can let the pair of you continue.
Yes, thank you. It was never supposed to be much more than just a little like off to the side.
Very sweet.
I can't believe you put shoes on her.
I did another
had to.
cry.
Yeah.
All right. So, a tiny bit of housekeeping before the pair of you wake up.
All right.
The last episode, everyone gets inspiration.
Ooh.
The death scene was incredible, and you two did amazingly. And the very end of the last episode between Squash and Zaltanna was just fucking A, and thus you have inspiration for that.
Woo.
Thank you. The next morning dawns. Nothing happens at midnight. Someone somewhere did their job. I refuse to answer that because that game hasn't been played yet, but I assume they do well. I assume the people who've gone to wipe out Empty Shallow, it's totally gone now. I assume these things are happening.
I'm gonna be so upset if they just nuke Empty Shallows.
I think we should move on from this conversation. There will be no tree left standing. Okay.
We're not at the point of nuking yet. Currently, we're in the napalm phase.
Yeah, the morning dawns. Unlike before where you kind of just got up and went to breakfast, there's like little parcels of food, which has like, they're basically just divvying out rations now. It's a lot less than when you were here last time, and it's a lot more basic than it was before, but food is on a hard ration. So there is food available, it's just not good, and there's not a lot of it. Most of you get woken up with a kind of a shout, a squeal, and a giggle as you hear Talist wrap her arms around her father, and he kind of like squeals a little bit in pain as she hugs him. Those of you who are close enough to see Talist is just losing her fucking shit. She's a very happy little girl. And after she's done hugging her father, she just kind of like runs over to where her uncles and her aunt are. And she's like dragging her father behind. Like he has the sword now. Like she's not carrying it anymore. She's not running with swords and knives. I need you guys to know this. She runs over and she says, thank you, Uncle Rhal. You did it.
Rod smiles and rustles her hair.
She just like jumps on you, just hugs you like really, really tightly.
Hugs.
Thank you for bringing Daddy home. I knew you would do it.
I told you it'd be okay.
And Auntie Anna and Uncle Balance, thank you.
He sets Talus down to run along.
She's not a child. She's like a full-grown adult.
She's still a child. She's still a child. She's very definitively still a child.
She's definitely a child. Just bigger. I'm going to say through the power of your parenting. Yeah. However, Rhal, although Aima is with you, and I assume you two had a comfortable night, I need you to make a roll.
Oh boy.
Okay. What is the dice anymore?
Let me just check. It's going to be on my timeline, I believe.
Rhal's gonna be a puddle.
You are on a D10.
10. I could have swore it was less than that. It's a 7.
It's a 7.
I could have swore it was already an 8 or a 6.
I think... No, you're not that low. Blimey.
Because I failed 3. Failed one standing up the other day.
You failed a D12, which dropped you to a D10 early. And then Zaltanna gave you double time, so... All right, I need to make that 4. Okay. All right, yeah, you don't wake up in a puddle. Aima's not like... Aima doesn't have to, like, panic, help you. Although Zaltanna did, obviously, them telling... obviously, with your friends telling Aima about what has been happening, like, she was very aware that she needed to keep an eye out for this, but you're fine. The White Dragonborn approaches the 4 of you. 5 of you, 6 of you. The Dragonborn approaches the 7 of you, technically, because Lisbeth is around too. Oh, blimey, too many NPCs.
Let's make them all talk to each other.
Let's kill them all.
Kathia.
What?
Elizabeth. Wait, who's here? Hold on.
Oh, blimey.
There's an extra one. Kill everything.
There's the 4 of... Hold on, there's the 4 of us.
Punch.
I've listened to Dark Dice. I know how this goes.
4 of us. Kathia, Elizabeth,
2
Aima,
Cadens. Fuck.
Caden.
Not it
Talus.
again.
So there's 9 of us.
All right,
Emil?
there's 9 of you.
Is Emil here?
No, Emil isn't around. Actually, I'm going to say that when y'all are kind of like arranging breakfast and getting your like meager rations together, I guess, you'll go sit down in like very similar places. You'll see that Emil is talking to the book, and there is a tall human male wearing the robes of Ilmater standing with them. The 3 of them are talking very animatedly to one another. At least the book is talking very animatedly to everyone else. Emil looks perturbed, a little uncomfortable, like he'd rather be anywhere but there. Soren doesn't look too bad, though. He looks exhausted, but he doesn't look upset or uncomfortable by her babbling.
Does it look like he had a weird encounter with 3 idiots?
Yes. He looks haunted. Yeah, for the camera's sake, in the Bikron universe, yes, you would recognize Soren Arkwright from the Reckless Play one shot. Yeah, and the 3 of them are having a conversation of sorts. There you go. So you do recognize him, but he's not at breakfast with you.
Okay. So 9 of us then.
Yeah, there's a fair few of you. The White Dragonborn approaches, and he says, in broken common, because he's trying to talk to all of you, he says, leader of Dragonborn is here.
Make a save. It's a 13.
You're fine. Aima is with you. She looks to you and says, you don't have to talk to him if you don't want to.
Maybe I shouldn't be there. I probably shouldn't be there.
What do you mean? No, clearly you should be there.
No, you guys go ahead.
You have done more than any of those Dragonborns. Are you sure?
I think he's just worried about dealing with a Thorin.
I think that it's fair if Rhal wants to stay back. We should go. Emma, are you coming with us, or are you staying with Rhal?
She looks at Rhal and she looks back at all of you and she says,
"You should go.
I have nothing to say to my father.
What?
If he wants to talk to me, he can come find me."
Zaltanna gives her a big smile at that. Zaltanna really likes Emma. I feel like they could be best friends. Okay, you two stay here, have I don't know, like a spa day together or something, and a spa like hour, and the rest of us will go talk to the Dragonborn.
Okay.
Emma, they might need you.
They don't need me.
How are they going to talk to one another?
Laffian's actually going to concentrate for a moment and switch his focus over. And then in perfect Draconic, he just turns around and says, "It's fine. I've got it."
See, your friend is very smart. Sorry. Laffian is you are very smart, Laffian.
Thank you.
See, Dragonborn isn't so difficult to learn.
Well, actually what happens is I'm basically drawing on your psionic energies and it's giving me a perfect comprehension of the language.
She looks a little baffled and then she's like, I would like to question you more in future about things.
Perhaps one day I'll teach
very
you,
interesting.
but further down the road.
How about we save the world first?
Deal.
Save the world, learn another language. That's the order that goes.
Yeah. No point learning a language if there's no water to learn it in.
Let's go talk to some Dragonborn.
Have fun. And she puts an arm around Rhal and she says,
"You guys have a good time doing whatever you're going to do." Zaltanna starts walking off.
We'll be here if you need us.
We will. If he comes, I will tell him to go away. He has nothing important to say to either of us.
You sure you don't want to talk to him, Emma?
No, I don't. You are my home and my heart. I don't have anything to say to him. And if I do, it may end up in, fire and dragon breath and all that stuff. So, but we don't. Alrighty then. The three of y'all. Casey, are you saying something?
I was just mouthing the cutest.
Okay, thank you. All right, I got really confused.
I do this all the time, and no one can ever see it.
Okay,
ignore my little square of Casey because I just tend to emote and react to things that are happening, and a lot of the time it's me mouthing things at the screen. All
right, okay, cool. This is the best. I approve. This is cool. Okay. The three of you approach, follow behind the white dragonborn. Standing on the teleport rune is a golden dragonborn. He is quite old. You can see that his eyes are they don't focus very well. He's not leaning on a stick, but he does, as you would notice, move a little stiffly. This guy is quite old. He's wearing very smart robes. Yeah, I think that's what you have. He has a wooden box, which is bigger than the chalice. Y'all would know that. Yeah, that's who you see. This is who you interact with.
He's older than I expected.
Older or golder? Because both are true for me.
Come now, I hardly think now is the time for that.
Oh, man.
Thorin, I presume. Pleasure to meet you.
In, not exactly perfect common, but pretty good common. He replies,
I am a Thorin, yes.
We've heard a good amount about you.
That? Who would you have heard this from?
Companions of ours.
Rojek, if I were to guess.
Lafayette kind of just inclines his head slightly.
Where is my daughter?
Currently with him. Her exact message was, if you want to speak with me, then you can come to me.
Then I guess I will have to do that.
Before that, I would request that we, the chalice is kind of important right now.
I am not sure why our leader has decided it is beneficial to bring Marnak back after everything we have tried to stop this, especially after Lightburner.
But he did.
Yes, but there are provisos. He wants Rhal to return.
Oh. Like, immediately?
Not right this second, no, but very soon.
Oh boy. Should one of us get Rhal? Because that's not something that a decision we can make for him.
What changed? I thought you guys were vehemently against anybody who had Dragon Maw.
Rwunwa did make a promise of sorts, saying that they would be willing to give Rhal the cure, which would require him to go back to Daimarius.
Yes.
Does he need to stay in Daimarius, or is it just come back for a visit kind of a thing?
He needs to face trials, is the way I understand it.
Can we go with him?
You see Thorin look down, contemplate a moment, and he says,
If the numbers remain small, we cannot have scores of people on Daimarius. Anyone who could teleport back there, not a chance.
Well, it would probably just be the three of us. And she points to Balance and... Sorry, she points to Lafayette. Never gonna happen. Lafayette and
we'll get there.
Squash and herself.
I can allow that exception.
That'll have to... That depends on what our timeline looks like.
If the end of the world comes, you can be excused.
he kind of gives you a wry smile.
The whole reason why we need the chalice is so that the world doesn't end.
That is your interpretation. But I am not here to argue about this. I will be the one to stay behind. I will be the one to keep an eye on Marnak. I have good people ready to take over in Daimarius. And I would like to be closer to my daughter.
Huh. Hey, Squash?
Yeah.
Can you grab Rhal?
Yeah, I'll be right back. And Squash clinks off real quick to find Rhal.
I assume they're sitting, the pair of them are still sitting together.
Yeah, you open the door and there's like a sigh. He already knows.
They want to talk to you too. Well, actually, they really want to talk to Rhal. And I think he said he'll come find you when he's done with that, if I understand correctly.
You don't have to talk to him if you don't want to.
They want to let you back into Daimarius.
I doubt it, no. Who is with him? They don't want me and not Daima. They're just going to kill me. That's why they don't want Daima there. This doesn't make sense.
She can come, I think.
No. If he wants to talk to us, he comes here. He needs something from us. We make him work for it.
Stubborn like your father. Okay, I get it.
It's just a simple power play. She can shrugs her shoulders a little.
Is this what you think too, Rhal? And Squash gives you a look. Like, I haven't heard you make a final decision here.
Who is with him?
Was there somebody?
No one.
He is completely alone. It's just him, and he looks frail. He looks old.
He was a magic user, right?
Yeah, he has magic, yeah.
Okay. Doesn't mean he's defenseless.
You have us.
I know.
Anything he throws at you will throw back twice as hard. You know that. There's a small smile on his face when he just says, like, we're the group that took down Dajin.
Fine. You can bring him here. It's fine.
Okay.
All right. Squash returns to the group.
Yep. Message relayed. And Thorin makes his way towards where Rhal and Aima are. I'm going to say relocate to the official meeting room. Just because that's where this thing happens. Aima stands next to Rhal, but she won't take any more steps towards him. He does have a big smile on his face when he sees her alive and well. Very quickly wiped out when he looks at Rhal, however.
Rhal is not making eye contact. He's just looking at the ground, kind of keeping track in his peripherals. If he makes if he looks at a Thorin at all, it's just like scan for weapons, and a Thorin can probably tell. But he does not make eye contact.
Carrying. Yeah, it's fairly obvious. He's carrying just like a small blade, but nothing more than that, really.
Cool.
Simple dagger.
By the way, if it comes up, Squash is like sitting hard on a counterspell.
Okay.
Like if what run.
Yeah.
No, not what run. What
Thorin.
If a Thorin starts like going like blah, 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 it's just like counterspell. I don't care if that's draconic. I'm counterspelling it.
Okay, fair.
Counter
you're
draconic.
A counterspell. Yeah, I'll that's fine. That's okay. I'll live with that. He looks at Rhal and he looks at Aima, and then he says,
"It is good to see you alive and well. You, however,"
and he looks at Rhal,
"our leader wants you to come back. He wants to help you with the cure like he promised."
I don't think I intend to accept that. It would be a wasted trip.
I think he wants to talk to you, aside from all that.
and he kind of points at like Rhal's neck area, and you feel like Aima's hand just like clench a little, get a little warmer.
He has things to talk to you about, something about this whole situation.
And they will let me leave.
You have my word, you and your 3 companions. You can go to Demarius. As long as you are unable to teleport back there again or hold knowledge of it, you will be able to talk to Waranwa, and then you'll be able to leave.
When?
He doesn't think he will live more than a week.
He doesn't? Him?
No. He is very old and very sick. The fight with Lightburner, I think it taxed him more than he let on.
What has become of Lightburner?
He would not say. All he said was that he needed to talk to Rhal and to bring Rhal to him.
Fine, but we're not leaving until we're done here. We can't.
That is the other part of me being here, bringing this thing.
And he indicates the box.
This is the last piece, and I am to stay here to keep an eye on Marnak.
There's like a... Rhal doesn't like audibly sigh, but there's like that movement of like... he just shudders a little bit.
Yeah. Aima looks at him and says, You can keep an eye on him, but we have nothing to say to you. You can't threaten Rhal's life and expect me to be okay with that. No.
Rhal looks kind of sad at the situation. At Aima, he's just kind of watching.
Thorin looks hurt, as you would expect. And he looks at Rhal and he says,
If you agree to go back to Demarius, I will stay here and keep an eye on Marnak. And you can have the chalice.
Fine.
He holds the box out.
Laffian takes it.
Yeah.
Sweet, merciful use.
Is there a chalice in it?
Yes, and you get a little kick from Marnak letting you know that this is the thing. This is a good thing. This is his thing. There's something about this. This is a thing. This is a thing. Yeah, you kind of feel his excitement grow a little bit. He's a little bit more active and has been over the last day or so. Still recuperating, but for the most part.
He knows he's getting out.
Yeah, basically.
Escape from Balance's brain, Laffian's brain.
Yes. Okay. Thorin goes to say something more to Aima, and she just shakes her head, and then he says,
I will go find somewhere to stay. I don't want to be a burden.
And he leaves the room. Okay, y'all have the last piece of Marnak. Y'all are in this room. What do you want to do?
You should get everyone together and go put the final piece on, I suppose.
Do it.
When y'all leave the room, you see that the mirror room is, again, normally guarded by a couple of guys, and they are, in fact, still there. The door is still closed. But standing in the corridor, kind of leaning against one of the door frames to the training room, basically almost just opposite where y'all are, you see Adet standing there.
Mm-hmm.
What?
She has a necklace on her with a pendant, and the pendant is made of onyx. There are what looks like 7 ribbons that have been weaved into a circle, and that is her pendant. And she's standing there, smiling at the however many of you that are coming out of this room.
Zaltanna's gonna just run.
Zaltanna, wait, no.
Shake.
Remember the last time you hugged someone you cared about? Shank. No, Adet kind of doesn't have any decorum either. She just runs over and does the half kneel down and just gives you the biggest hug. Everything about her is very serene. It's very beautiful. Everything is that picture perfect moment. For those of you who, for basically everybody else except Zaltanna, you feel a bizarre electrical feeling, much like magic, much like when Demi is around, but 300 times stronger. This is very potent. And she's standing there. You can see your familiar faces that you'll want to have around are kind of looking down the corridor at this strange magical moment. But yeah, the dead is standing there.
Rhal waves.
Hi.
Awkward.
She's just gonna kiss her.
Yeah, she definitely kisses you back. And she says, I'm here to see you, and I'm here to witness Marnak come back together. And do you 3... Sorry, I don't really know you. Do you 3 remember Kaisa?
Yes? What about her?
Kaisa sent me as I guess an olive branch she made me an avatar so I could come down and say hi and hug you and tell you that you're beautiful and basically ask you to just listen to her. She has a lot to say and yeah.
Case does.
I naturally jumped at it. I want to be here. So
she brought you back to me for however long this is. I would listen to anything she has to say.
I'm only here until Marnak comes back and yeah. Hi. I haven't met any of you before, but I understand that you helped get me out, Rhal, from Dravos.
Rhal waves and smiles.
She's not letting go of Zaltanna, so she kind of waves back. And I believe that you helped kick Dravos's butt, Laffian, so thank you.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure to throw him off of a cliff.
So I heard. Well,
oh, and this is Squash. Zaltanna gestures to Squash. He helped me dream about you last night. It was a very lovely dream.
Then I guess hello, Squash.
Talking about drugs.
I'm a
No. Jesus.
You're the worst.
I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
I mean, the same way you'd be talking about drugs if you're like, man, I took some Z-Quil last night to help me get to sleep, bro.
I just took some NyQuil,
Bro.
Zaltanna, by the way, has definitely been having sleeping issues this whole game. She's probably on 1 to 3 hours of sleep most days.
All
That's
the
disgusting.
time.
Yeah, I think after
once.
dealing with freaking the Sandman and all that weird yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She's definitely got insomnia.
Yeah. That's totally, yeah, that's very understandable. Adet kind of nods and smiles down at Squash she's not letting go of Zaltanna for any reason right now.
Squash just smiles back and just goes no difference from the dream. That's rare.
I think that's because Zaltanna and Odette were together for a really long time.
Yeah. There's no softening of the features. There's no hardening of anything. No extra shoes.
Wear shoes, you freak.
We're together, have been together, are together.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a job.
Just all really long distance and awkward right now.
Yeah, it's just really weird. So yeah, she kind of looks at the lot of you and she says, Case is going to have something very important to ask you, and you can say no. Just be really careful. Case is not she's not a god. The rules aren't the same for her.
Can you elaborate what she is? She was kind of vague when I asked that question.
I think it's probably better if she tells you herself. And she kind of does a kind of apologetic look on her face. She knows, but she can't really say. Laffian?
Yes.
Good luck in there. And she looks in the mirror room.
I don't need that, right? I mean, thank you, but I don't need that, but thank you, but okay, all right.
She reaches over and she kind of lays a hand on your shoulder and she says, I'm wishing you good luck. And you feel a tingle in your shoulder. Something bizarrely magical and radiant permeates your body and then the feeling's gone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We can keep delaying, but I guess you better go do your thing now, huh?
Are we not talking to Kesa first then? Or does that come after?
That's after.
All right, well, I guess we should get everyone together. Zaltanna, if you want to say your hellos and goodbyes again.
Oh my god, this sucks so bad.
Adet gives you like a really big hug, like very, very tight.
Monarch waited this long, he could wait a moment longer.
True. She lets go just enough, and she says, I'm always here. I'm always around you. And I just wish I could share my day with you too.
I want to hear about your day every day. It's weird just talking to you and not getting a response, but I'm glad you can hear me.
I can
always tell you there.
I am always there. I can always be there now. So
I love you so much.
I love you too, beautiful. You and I are going to be the best goddesses.
Oh, hell yeah. They're not going to know what hit him up there.
No. You are going to be so kick-ass, and I'm so proud of you already, okay? And I will see you very, very, very soon, okay?
She pulls her down into like a really long kiss. Almost uncomfortably long. For probably
uncomfortably long.
Not for
everyone else.
For everybody else.
Like, everyone else is like, blimey, come up for air already.
All right.
Oh, I get to see I haven't seen my wife since she died. Like,
yeah,
so
exactly. This is a big moment. Yeah. Okay, who are y'all assembling in the mirror room?
1, 2, 3, 4. Thea.
Aima.
I feel like we need to have Caden there.
Of course.
How many can we fit?
8.
Doesn't Odette have to be there to witness Marnak, right? Nope.
She can basically do it from the door frame. Like, she doesn't need to go in. Also, her gaining a plus to charisma, not really
helpful. Yeah.
The other god, not really a helpful thing. Taylus. Because who needs more charisma than Taylus?
That girl already has like a plus infinity on charisma.
Everyone knows this to be true.
Yeah, I guess Taylus. I guess.
Lisbeth. Lisbeth wants to be there.
Oh, yeah, and Lisbeth. Wait, no, that's 9 then.
If you need to get rid of one person, I would get rid of Taylus.
Yeah.
You definitely need anything we can do to help Caden is good.
Rhal will let Taylus stand in there.
No.
Yeah.
No, you need that charisma.
You need that charisma, and your friend Laughing needs support because he's about to deal with the thing.
Yeah,
he's about to face the worst thing I've ever thrown at a player. So yeah,
honestly, probably Taylor shouldn't even be there because it might look really painful and it might actually scar her. So, like,
a solid choice.
Let's keep the literal child who may or may not be in a teenager's body, but is still a literal child, away from the things that might scar them for life.
Yeah.
Besides,
like,
the world's already falling apart. It's fine.
This is a big deal. Yeah. Okay. So we have the 4 of you. We have Kythea, we have Caden, and we have Lisbeth. And Aima. Okay, great. As you open the box with the chalice in it, it does its traditional thing of lifting in the air, slamming into the armor stand, and melding with it. You see darkness all around you, and you see 6 orbs of light crash into each other, one after another. Light gets bigger and brighter every single time. This is not the usual thing that most of you have seen. In fact, all of you have seen. This is different. When the 6th light touches the others, there is a huge flash of light that temporarily blinds you all. Lafian, in that moment, you feel like your soul is being cut in half. You feel nothing but pain in your entire body, in your bones, in your soul. I am very sorry. I have prepared you best I can. This is not going to be pleasant. You can legitimately die from this. But luckily you have a bunch of friends around who may be able to revive you, so here we go.
Can I counterspell this?
No.
I
don't
would
care how many
slap the shit
counterspells
out of
you have
you if
already.
you did.
Yeah.
I just counterspell that just Monarch stays in your head and there's just a body there with no soul.
Sorry, I got
Fucking
scared.
Okay. Laffian, what I'm going to make you do is I'm going to make you roll 6 saving throws.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have you roll them technically all at the same time because I don't want this to stack and fuck you really hard. This is me being as kind as I can.
Okay.
You need to roll a saving throw for strength, dexterity, constitution, intellect, wisdom, and charisma.
Okay.
So I need you to roll all of those now, please.
Okay. The strength one's made with advantage.
Hell.
Correct. I helped as best as I could.
Yep.
Don't you get advantage on everything because of me?
No. I do get the aura, though.
Yes.
However, in this situation, no. I'm sorry.
No aura?
No.
Okay. All right.
This is kind of happening somewhere else that Zaltanna isn't.
All right.
Sorry.
First one. 18 strength saving throw.
All right.
The rest of them are going to be normal.
Let me
Jesus
let me
Christ,
just
that
double
was a
check.
19 and a 1.
Well, your strength saving throw at advantage was successful. So 1 success.
Okay.
All right. So that was strength. Dexterity, please.
Dexterity. 6. I'm going to use a point of luck.
Okay.
I have 3 of them. So I'm going to...
You're going to probably need them.
Yeah. Rerolling 21 dexterity saving throw.
You succeed. Constitution, please.
Constitution. 19.
You succeed.
Intelligence.
You better succeed
Using
on
a
this.
point of luck.
What did you get?
It was a 13. For the record, that's a plus 10. I rolled a 3 on that one. Rolling it again. 23. Much better.
Much better. You succeed. Next.
Wisdom. 9. Last point of luck. 12.
Oh, no.
I have inspirations. I have 3 inspirations, so...
What the fuck?
Okay,
More
go for it.
Holy shit.
I hoard them.
He holds them.
I was
For
too.
moments like this.
Yes.
Continue.
So I'm using 1.
Yep.
A 10.
That's
Using
a fail.
another inspiration. All right,
Okay, you
roll
might
20.
just wanna
Listen,
give up on
I have a
that
plus
wisdom.
7 to wisdom. Can you give me something above a 10, please?
He got 11, so that was in fact above a 10. Next. Are you going to roll another inspiration, or are you going to take the hit on this one?
What's more important?
No, I have to, because my charisma is going to be so shit no matter what anyways. It's only a plus 2. Last inspiration. I'm using it for the wisdom. Fuck. 13. Never mind, I'm just going to end up dying. And then the charisma. It's a 21. What the fuck?
So that nice new helm he got that gave him wisdom is the only thing he failed on?
Oh, boy.
So for the
You
listeners,
gain-
to give you clear numbers, I got a strength save of 18. I got a dexterity of 21. Constitution, 19. Intelligence, 23. Wisdom, the highest was a 13. And then charisma was a 21. So I have 1
5
shitty
rolls.
one. And I had to use
One-
all of my resources.
And all your luck.
All inspiration, all luck. Those are gone.
It feels like literally your soul having something torn off it. Like, you have literally had another soul grafted onto you, and thus now it is no longer there. You only failed 1, so you only take 1 level of exhaustion. If you had failed more, there are 6 of them. I would have let you die.
Okay. I have a point of exhaustion.
This exhaustion can only be cured with sleep. You can't
Oh, that
just
sucks as an elf,
side
doesn't
point
it?
greater restoration. Yep.
So I need
Sleep,
I need a
inverted
full
commas.
rest.
Long rest. Yeah, you
Ow.
need a long rest.
I was hoping it was forever. On a technicality. Well, since you can't
No.
sleep,
No, Neil.
darn.
I might be a dick and be willing to give him 6 levels of exhaustion. I'm not willing to say that he can't sleep to get rid of exhaustion.
Well,
As meditation, that's a dick move.
it wouldn't be a forever because you could just find someone to cast sleep on you.
He can't be
doesn't
put to
work
sleep
on
with
elves.
magic.
Oh.
Not unless
Yeah.
he gives his face stuff to a specter for some dumb reason.
Yeah.
Funny
you have
how
one
that
level
works out,
exhaustion that you can't remove until you have a long rest.
Okay.
I'm super glad that you've used all your resources because that makes the rest of this day terrible for you, and I'm very happy. Cool.
Well, you say that.
When all of you have your vision back, standing before you is a face that you, Laffian, would recognize. There is an old gnome standing before you, bit of a moustache, wearing robes that are exceptionally old. He smiles at all of you, and he offers Laffian his hand.
Laffian takes the hand.
He shakes your hand and he looks at each of you. And as he's about to offer his hand to Rhal, I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah.
All of us?
All of you.
Do we have the
Every
aura?
single person in this room. And yes, you do have the aura because you're all on the same level.
Oh, yeah,
of
did we get that
existence.
charisma bonus?
Yeah. Y'all got the +1 charisma.
Okay.
Doesn't help you with
Wow.
Constitution saving throw, but y'all got the +1
No,
charisma.
it just occurred to me that I should probably.
Yes, y'all should be adding +1 to your Christmas.
I got a 9 plus the aura. So
Oof.
good success there, I think.
Aura is.
Is your Casey? Is your charisma modifier still +3 or plus?
Let me check once I've added this. Give me 1 second, because it was a charisma. It was a charisma thing, right?
Yeah, it's +1 to your charisma.
So my charisma is +4
Oh,
because I'm at 19 charisma.
Yeah, then y'all should be at like +4 for your save, right?
okay.
I think.
It is the aura of protection is saving gain a bonus equal to my charisma modifier, so +4.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, let's start at the top. Laffian.
I got a 16.
Fail.
Cool.
Oh boy.
I can't do anything about that.
Zaltanna.
18.
Pass. Rhal.
13.
Fail.
Pass. What?
That's a fail. And Squash.
21.
Fuck me. All right. Remember whether you passed or failed. I'm never going to remember them off the top of my head. All right, I'm breaking up the damage types because this is very important. Everybody who failed takes 34 psychic damage.
I'm resistant.
Yep, so you... Oh, and everyone who passed takes 17 psychic damage. Keep those character sheets open. This is not the last of the damage.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Everyone happy?
No.
Well, no. You're
Great.
doing this again?
Wonderful. Yeah, of course I am.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
You take 28 radiant damage.
Okay.
No resistance? No saves? Or
Oh,
something?
I'm sorry. It's 28 for everyone who failed and 14 for everyone who passes.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right, I've done my math. I'm paying attention.
Okay. Same here.
It's not looking good, V. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
it's not looking good. All right, I think everyone's good. All right, I'm gonna... Ah, shit, fuck me. All right. Sorry, my dice went everywhere.
That was a lot of cursing.
Yeah, there was a lot of cursing. And for everyone who failed, it's 31 force damage. And for everyone who succeeded, 15. Is anybody unconscious? You shouldn't be.
Nope. But let me just say that I went from having 111 HP to 65. So that's...
Yeah, Squash would be very much unconscious if I failed mine.
I went from 113 to 20.
Let me tell you, if I didn't have that resistance to psychic damage, I would have been unconscious.
Jesus.
I'm
okay.
at 11.
Just look at those.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Ama is still standing. Elizabeth is still standing. Caden is unconscious.
God damn it.
We
We just got you back, Caden.
Oh!
And Kythea is unconscious.
No!
All right, so you have 2 unconscious buddies.
What is it from?
So can you describe what happened?
Yeah, yep. So as he goes out to shake Rhal's hand, there is an explosion of force inside of Marnak. It ripples out in a kind of a bright purplish light. And it feels hot, and it feels like you've been hit in the face with a 10-ton weight. It hits you square in the chest, especially for those of you who failed. His eyes go bright purple. Everything. There's no whites, there's no pupil, it just goes purple and glows. Your two companions fall unconscious to the ground. Marnak stands and stares forward. And you see what looks like tiny stars in his eyes. And they swirl. It looks like that kind of shot of a galaxy? Mm-hmm. It looks much like that is going on inside his eyes, like an entire cosmos. He is seeing and being made aware of so many things all at once. And as his eyes begin to clear, he looks at all of you and sees the two unconscious ones and rushes over to try and help Caden back to his feet. Is anyone doing healing?
I'm healing Kythea. What are you kidding?
I'm doing some lay on hands on. I'm going over and to Kate, because I see that he's running to Kythea. I'm gonna run over to Caden and clear.
Yep, you jump start him with some healing. His eyes open,
I'll give him a
very
solid
slowly.
20.
Okay, let me write that down.
I'm doing a full 7.
Why does
7
it say
side
I
points.
I don't know why when I changed my lay on hands, instead of writing 65 out of 65, I somehow wrote 82 out of 65. Because that's how math works.
That's real good. That's real good.
That's not what I meant to think.
I made a Constitution saving throw. I rolled a 7, and I almost knocked myself out.
Okay, that's real good.
God
Rhal
damn it!
almost managed to knock himself out.
Jesus Christ.
Kythea comes to as you kind of mend some of the internal wounds. I don't think that's a lot of healing though. Looking at that red number,
18 hit points.
Oof.
Roll 20.
We need to have a conversation. Roll 20.
He sees that you have Caden, and his hands go to his face a little bit, and he says, "I'm so sorry."
What?
Are they okay?
They'll be fine. Rhal just looks over and sees that Rhal has knocked himself unconscious, and
no, he hasn't.
Oh,
not quite.
So he had 20 HP. He was going to take 17 damage.
Oh, you're fine.
He's
you have
down
resistance.
to 12, but I mean, he looks like shit.
I think it's at.
Jeezum, Creasum.
I think it's at this point that there's a bolt that flies as close to Monarch as it could have possibly gone without hitting him. Squash is lying. He holds his crossbow and just says, "Step the fuck away from my friends."
What was that?
God, you're firing a Monarch!
Yes! The motherfucker just killed almost everybody.
Don't do drugs, kids.
He didn't kill anybody.
There are 2 people down, and he's touching those 2 people. He's stepping the fuck back.
He went to Caden, but saw Zaltanna was there. He puts his hands up, and he looks up at actually, gnomes are taller, aren't they? And he's a tall gnome. He kind of looks at you a little bit and puts his arms up and backs up a little bit. And then you see Lisbeth stand in front of him. Yeah. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What was that even?
The gods. They showed me how our existence works. Everything. They showed me how to crack the walls just long enough to get everyone where they need to be. Oh, this is going to take a lot of energy. This is going to take a lot of energy.
Good, because I have so much of that. And Laughing at that point just slumps against the wall and slides down.
Zaltanna, when Marnak said gods, immediately looks back. Obviously,
she's gone.
Odette's gone. Yeah,
she's gone.
Crestfallen face. She knew Odette would be gone, but it just hurts even more seeing her god.
Yeah, like having it confirmed.
So she also slumps. Not in pain or in lack of energy, but just in like defeat.
Sad, yeah.
I'm exhausted and have 11 HP. Laffian looks pale. He's sweating. His eyes are drooping. He's just...
Oh boy. I'm gonna like kind of like depressedly crawl over to you and like just smack a hand onto your forehead. Like I'm feeling for your temperature, and I'm gonna give you 20 lay on hands.
That is definitely a Zaltanna feel to what's going on here right
now.
That
helps. Thanks.
Please. I didn't know. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
Squash. I think it's just a weird psychic energy thing.
God magic.
Yeah.
God magic.
Whew, that's a lot of... And he kind of like drops to the floor, like sitting down, like this was a big thing for him too. And Lisbeth kind of like sits down next to him and puts her arms around him.
Squash drops the crossbow and just like kind of grumpily gets to his feet. He's clearly not happy with how this went.
Rhal's like kind of also laying down while sitting down in his own mess.
Emer is kind of cleaning you up a little bit with your hoodie. Like she knows what's happened here. She looks a little worse for wear as well. She looks a little bruised and a little battered, but she's conscious.
You're going to help us, right? Please.
Yeah. Yes.
Rhal smiles.
I have... The gods showed me our universe, our existence. They showed me how I could lower the veils between the planes long enough to get everyone to the Sentinel plane. All those armies, everyone. Like as always, it comes as a cost, but that's going to help.
What is the cost?
A lot of energy. A lot of it. And he looks at Lisbeth, and you see kind of like little flashes of purple in their eyes. They are clearly communicating. And she nods.
I can help. I just need you to show me what to do, and I will help.
I'm going to have to go. I saw Savras's library when you first caught Dachin. Off in the distance. I have to go there. Yeah, I can go there, I can get the thing. I can learn more about what I need to do, and then...
That was Ogma's.
I just need to do this quickly. Sorry?
That was Ogma's library.
Yes, sorry, Ogma's library, my bad.
You said Savras, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm in Ogma, you know what I mean.
Mostly just copies of threads.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
No.
The threads of fate.
But
I saw Ogma's library. There's something I need there. I have to go there, get some more information, how to do this safely, how to prepare people. No, I don't need to prepare people. You can prepare people, right? And he looks up and looks at all of you. You could get people ready, let them know this is coming, that's the plan.
What do you need us to do?
Cicero and Bellum. They have armies. This is what they're literally there for.
How would we, without leaving a portal open, how would we do that?
He looks at Laffian, and then he kind of like throws Squash aside and looks back at Laffian. Someone made a deal so that you could go between the planes when needed, didn't she?
So that's part of the deal Demi made.
We all read her letter. I'm going to go. I'm going to get this sorted out. I will be in contact with you as often as I can. And Laffian, in the back of your head, you hear him say, Thank you for trusting me.
You're welcome.
If you need me, just think about me. We will always have a bond. And out loud, he says, good luck, and I will see all of you very soon. Thank you. I never thought I'd be standing here, thank you. He looks like he's fighting back tears a little bit. And he reaches out for Lisbeth, and the two of them fade into nothingness.
Thorin's not going to like that. Already. This.
No, my father is... The room freezes. Except for the four of you. Aima mid-sentence. Caden mid-trying to stand up. Kythia kind of like reaching for Lafian's face. They all freeze. Standing in front of you is a dwarf that at least three of you recognize. On her neck, there is a pendant, which is a circle with a cross in it. She has kind of flaming, darkish, brownish hair, and she's wearing very simple leathers. Well, fancy meeting you three here.
Good to see you as well.
Hi.
So, you managed to do it then?
We did.
You're part in the gods' plan. I didn't think their plan would work very well, but there he is, tootling off to crack open the fields of reality. Bloody hell. Do you want to be somewhere a bit more comfortable than this shithole?
But this is Kesa, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure I was right. Zaltanna smiles at her and is just like, hey, thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. I just needed you all to give me a fair listen. I've got something a bit weird to lay on you, and I'm hoping that you're going to go with it. Do you know what a conversation like this needs? It needs bloody ale.
I could go for some ale.
In an almost literal blink, you find yourselves standing in a dwarven hall. It's very, very long. You can't actually see either end. It's so very long. The tables are broken up here and there so you can pass between them, but there is ale, there is wine, there is a lot of good feasting meats. There are crackling fires every now and then in hearths. There are dwarven-made weapons up on the wall. Zaltanna, you recognise this as the place you went to when you sat with Clemdale.
Oh.
When you hashed out your godhood.
How are we here?
Oh, right here. She, Kesa sits down, one leg either side of, the bench and, grabs an ale, which is foamy and happy. Oh, sit down, a lot of you. Well, this is one of those, side planes, I guess.
Oh, that was by the gods' plane.
Yeah, kind of. So there's the Sentinel plane where they all get to hang out and where we hang out most of the time, but this place is a little bit different. It's off to one side. Clemdale kind of likes her peace and quiet.
Can you explain... Can you answer my question that I asked you last time? Truthfully this time.
She kind of puts her feet up on the table and crosses them over. It's I don't trust no one who doesn't drink ale.
Zaltanna's grabbing an ale and chugging half of it and doing a big mouth wipe.
Is there any
please
wine?
Sit down. Yeah, I've got the elven wine over there.
I'd rather.
Oh, come on, balance.
I'm not an ale
It's totally
person.
fine. Wine is okay. I just like this body, and this body likes ale. But I've kind of enjoyed wine here and there, and enjoyed a bit of gin here and there. Different tastes, different bodies, I guess.
Gin, we know her.
No, that's Jen.
Jen, yeah. You know her.
Laughing grabs some wine. The cup's like shaking in his hand. He's just like...
I think Squash sits down like next to Rhal and just kind of quietly goes like, Is this real? Am I dead? Like, what is happening?
Rhal kind of leans over. You're asking the wrong person. And he just shrugs. Kind of smiles at you and shrugs.
Nah, yep. You're not dead, young Squash. Not yet.
Thanks, I guess.
You're welcome. I could have smote you where you stood, but I thought better of it.
Okay. Squash is like pulling like a flagon of ale or something closer to him or something to pour into the flagon he has in front of him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, alright. So what?
Well, currently you're sitting in a side plane talking to a Sentinel. That's the what.
So you're a god? Or a goddess?
No, please, no. No offense, Zaltanna, but no. So the gods are kind of... We created them. They help to maintain and sustain our world. Get a lot of their power through followers, people who believe in and trust in them. They take responsibility. But imagine... Wait, you're a prince, this kind of works. So imagine you have a bunch of like princes and princesses and such like, and they kind of run bits of this and bits of that, but they're never actually responsible for the whole thing. So my sister and my brothers and I, we're kind of more like the king and the queen, and the other queen and the other king. We made this existence. We made the gods.
Oh.
We're the reason that it still stands.
Rhal just looks more confused. She's kind of squinting.
So you're the creators?
Yeah, well, my older brother is definitely like the creator. He's the one that's got that literal creative spark. The rest of us, dot the I's, cross the T's, add the ones and the zeros, that sort of thing. But yeah, the four of us, imagine like a deflated balloon. If you put like some like fabric inside it, you put some supports inside it and it becomes something that you can use. We provide that support. I mean, we built the support, we built the balloon, and we built everything else inside it, but that's not really the point.
I'm going to assume, though, that this blissful eclipse thing was not something any of you created.
Well, no. You see, there are plenty of creators out there, plenty of the creators, if you like, if that's the term you want to use. We call them Sentinels, but sure. There are plenty of these creators out there, and they create different worlds. You've actually been to one. You went to...
Cromana.
Yeah, that's the one. Different creator made that. Different way of making it. They have multiple planes, multiple levels, and my brother and my sister and I were just like, bullshit to that, let's just have 5 of them. They have very different systems, and other creators have circles within circles and that sort of thing. Many planes. Some I know of only even have one plane. A singular plane, nothing before, nothing coming after, and they just left it as it is. It's doing quite well, actually. It's pretty boring, but it's doing all right. So this blissful eclipse, it kind of started somewhere. Don't really know where. But it travels between different existences, and it consumes them whole. We've been hearing about it here and there. Savras told us, but my brothers and sister weren't really listening. I mean, it's just a god. I mean, it's like if you listen to an ant. Except I don't see it that way. They don't either, not really, but, we don't always take everything everyone says that seriously. The Savras warned us about it. I went out and had a look, and there it is. Consuming existences whole. and we're on its path. So, why I've brought all of you here. My brothers and sister are, they need to recreate the net around the world. They need to create a shield of sorts, encapsulate us a bit more. We know how to protect ourselves from the blissful eclipse, but it takes time. We're literally rewriting the code without wiping the slate clean. We don't want to lose you all. We actually like you. Even though, we can be dicks, which is fair. We can do that, but it takes time. And they didn't start it soon enough. They might already be here by the time we finish. So, the gods came up with one plan. Try and keep them at bay as long as they can. My plan is to beat the shit out of them if they even come here. Which is what it's going to probably come to. So, what I kind of need, and this only actually became possible because of you, and she turns and looks at Squash, and you, and turns and looks at Laffian. You see, I can temporarily make something very powerful, but it requires a bit of work on your behalf. I need someone to go through some challenges, trials, get yourselves prepared and ready. I need someone to go through the trial of the brain, the trial of the brawn, and the trial of the heart. Now, this plan wouldn't actually been possible if you, Laffian, hadn't helped cure Squash. If you hadn't have found that flower, this wouldn't have been possible. Because, Squash, you weren't supposed to be here. At all. You were supposed to be dead already. And now that I can actually see you, you're headed on a very destructive path. And that is unfortunately exactly what we need. We need someone to go through the trial of the spirit. Now, it's only going to be temporary, and it may only last a minute, maybe two at the most, as the four of you become, well, less four, more one being. Because I want you to stand by my side and help defend my siblings as they create this new shield. I want you to help me save Bikram. I want you four, however temporary, to become a Sentinel.
Oh. I would ask what that means, but I think it was explained. I'm just...
You know the idea that someone can click their fingers and something disappear and something reappear? Change the very fabric of reality? The four of you are gonna be one and have power a little bit similar to that.
And why can't you get rid of the sickness then?
I can. I definitely can. But I'm not really supposed to be interfering with mortal shit. But I can. And I will. I will cure them. If the four of you do this.
So we need to take these trials, and if we succeed, when this big encounter occurs, we'll become one Sentinel and fight alongside you.
That's my plan, yeah. My brothers and sister will be the one changing the world. We're going to be making sure they don't get fucking interrupted.
I'm in.
How does this plan fit in with everything else, with Marnak and with these armies and...
The gods had their plan. Their plan being that they'll have two heroes put aside who have the power to kill things on a god level and be able to get the armies of the world. to the Sentinel plane in one go. One had one ability, one gained the other. Marnak can crack the veils without destroying the world very temporarily. Kells, she had the power, knowledge to kill gods.
And we saw how that worked out.
Exactly. The gods aren't without their flaws. I mean, we're not without our flaws either, but we do the best we can. The rest of the gods' plan? Fuck it, I'll make it sure that you can't actually repeat it back on Bikron. That'll be much better. The gods plan on getting themselves out of this existence by creating different kinds of avatars, mortal ones. It allows them to leave this existence, which they can't do right now. And they're going to stand outside of our existence and buy as much time as they can. Those 7 idiots are going to help them do it.
7 idiots?
Yeah, you've met a few.
I've met a lot of idiots, but who are the 7 idiots?
Well, you've got Emil, goddess of death, goddess of lich. She's going to take him over. There's the book, which you've just met recently, some of you. Titus is gonna wield that one for a little while. Soren, which I think you've only seen in the distance. Ilmate is his. There's Demetria, and that's going to be Grumptious. No, they're the only ones you've met. I can give you the names of the others, but they'd be completely irrelevant to you.
I see. Well, Zaltanna's going to look over at Squash to make sure he's okay after hearing Demi's name.
Oh, Squash is not happy. Squash has like a scowl on his face as he's looking at this person just blatantly explain like life-changing, world-ending events. He's not happy, but he's not speaking out right now.
If we do this, does that prevent these people from having to let gods take over their bodies?
That depends.
Or does it go alongside it?
Ideally, it goes alongside it. I mean, actually, most ideally, me and the 4 of you will be able to stop them. But if one of us falls, I'd rather let them do this. Ideally, I'd rather let them do that and have us defend, because if they get in and we can't stop them, we lose everything. We don't survive either. And the blissful eclipse comes that much stronger.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
Why the 4 of us? I mean, obviously we're the ones that have been working right now to save the world, but I'm sure there have been a lot of people doing that. I'm just...
Yeah.
Why are the 4 of us? Is there like a greater plan in place that... Is there a reason why you've chosen an angry dwarf, a fallen prince, a sick dragonborn, and an addicted halfling to be the saviors of the world?
Do you want the honest truth?
Yeah. I wouldn't have asked.
Because you have become a goddess. You fought through everything in your life and become something bigger and greater and more important. You are very strong. Not just physically. You are a strong person. And I like that. I appreciate that. You, fallen prince, as she's called you, you're very smart. I didn't expect you to live through that, what you just did. But you did. I didn't expect you to piece a lot of the pieces together, but you did. And on top of all that, you still have a heart. You're still smart. You're strong. And you're going to be a good leader, not because of your blood. You are going to be a phenomenal leader when you see the little details and the big ones. This sick dragonborn here has more heart than any single person I've ever met in my life. You do not stay down, and you keep getting back up. Even though you know you're going to die, you have the biggest heart of anyone I've ever. And I've known a lot of people. And she kind of smiles wryly. And you sneaky little fuck. And she looks over at Squash. You could have easily have given up. Gone into despair, take a bunch of drugs. Even last night, you decided to do something better. You've also managed to stay off of our radar. And that's very intriguing to me. And your path takes you down a dark path of destruction. And you see things that people don't. And we need that. And also, what you're planning on doing. Things with magic, runes. You're going to need that too. That's why I chose the four of you. Right. Well, I better send you back home then. You'll know the trials when they come up. And get those armies. Get them ready. That's what I'm going to need you to do.
No pressure, right?
Only the fate of the entire world almost literally going to be on your shoulders.
Fate of the universe, fate of other universes, no pressure whatsoever. We got this, right?
I've got faith in the four of you. Well, I've got faith in the four of you, she repeats.
Is it your brother's fault why the world's like this? The creative one, as you called him.
Not really. Every existence has its flaws.
Which one of you created diseases? Which one of you created plagues?
What made you decide to take drugs? Sometimes shit just happens. Sorry.
Squash just looks at the table.
Well then, I guess I'll see you guys very soon. Bye. And with a simple blink, and the four of you are transported back to the mirror room. Hi everyone. We're all here. I hope you enjoyed this season finale.
We did it!
V, why did you hurt me?
Why did you hurt me?
It was Monarch, okay?
We did it!
Betrayal.
We made it to the end of the season.
Betrayal.
Listen, I let him stay there rent-free that long, and that's how I get paid back.
Oh boy.
How long have you been sitting on that one? 133 episodes?
133 episodes, give or take.
Plus backstory. So
He's not getting his security deposit back.
Rip.
That place is a mess now.
Joke's on him, the security deposit was the psychic powers.
He tore up all the walls. What is even on the carpet? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Wait, do I have brain carpet?
Do you not?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Is hair brain carpet?
That's a rug, maybe. So that was the finale. As we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we have hiatus episodes coming, so there will be something next week. We're not sure what yet, and it won't be Neil's editing style. We're trying, and then we'll be back to season 2 in a couple of weeks. And we are picking up exactly where we dropped off, which was in that tiny little room with everybody being shunted back, having been told what they've been told. So. And thank you for listening so far, and we hope to see you in season 2. And I want to say that all the 4 players here are amazing, and I love them all. There you go, it's on record.
No, you.
I only hurt you a little bit. Only a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
You only hurt the ones you love. That's what they say about DMs, right?
Why, V? Ouch.
And the answer to that question, Neil,
Ouch.
what happened in season 2?
In Glotfo, Neil.
Ouch, V.
Yeah. So, yeah, we just want to say thank you for listening so far, and your support has made season 2 a thing that we want to do. So, yeah, that's basically it, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Hey, Archie, you listened to any good podcasts lately?
I gave Rusty Quill Gaming a try.
Oh yeah, how'd you like it?
For something that's off, like not actually D&D, with it being Pathfinder, it's actually really good. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, but damn.
I'm actually kind of surprised because I know you're pretty loyal to D&D. So what's it about?
From what I've been hearing, it's like an alternate version of London and kind of like a fantasy world beyond. And I think the campaign that they were going through is called Erasing the Line.
Is it like, what is it, like weekly, monthly, bi-weekly?
So it's a weekly actual play podcast, mixed ability group of people consisting of comedians, improvisers, gamers, and I believe writers.
Okay, well, definitely have to check it out.
I mean, from what I saw, apparently the show is an award-winning podcast, and there's over 250 episodes, so...
Oh, no way, I didn't know that.
People listen to us, and we do a whole bunch of tabletop fantasy role-playing stuff, so... It's not that far of a jump to listen to something that's doing Pathfinder.
People should definitely check it out then. If they like us, they'll probably like this, right?
I would certainly think so.